Good morning, everyone. Paul McMahon here from Forex Smart Trade, and uh, glad that you could make it. Forex Smart Trade. Our goal is to help people become financially independent through currency trading with our proprietary indicators and our using our money to trade with. Just trying to get my screen organized here, and I'm not quite sure why I can't, but I guess we will proceed uh, as is. Let us one more preface. We generally on this trade we focus on using the two techniques that we learn in the introductory trial, and those go by the name of the thick orange line trade and the 10-point trade. We've got a number of signals that we use, but for the introductory period, we only go through trades with those. So let us pull up our daily trade routine. I like to have a protocol that we use when I trade, and I start by reviewing what we did last time. And when we review what we did last time, we've got a little discrepancy here, so it's a worthy note. Last week we took two trades, and we took them a little bit before the top of the hour. They were both thick orange line trades. We took them just about 10 minutes before the top of the hour. And we got stopped out on both of them. Now, as soon as we got off the phone, or as soon as we got off the broadcast, which was still a little bit before the top of the hour, I went ahead and took those trades in my live account. And in my live account, both closed profitably. So the lesson there is that we want to really be as close to the top of the hour as we can, because there's still movement going on right up till the top of the hour. So we got stopped out on both here because we took them a little early, whereas when I took them in my live account, as soon as we got off the video, they both closed profitably. Then we want to take a look at what the news is. And now with the coronavirus, the way the coronavirus impacts the stock market and the currency market are different. The stock market is driven by earnings and expectations of earnings. And when businesses can't operate, their projected earnings go down, and subsequently their stock prices go down. In the currency market, it's really more of a macro market, if you will, macroeconomic market, where it's what impacts a country's ability to be profitable or be strong. And the coronavirus, in this case, impacts most countries. It's got a negative impact on both countries. So negative here, the relationship kind of stays the same. Although what we're seeing is the dollar is continuing to get stronger. And two, the market is moving pretty fast. And when the market is moving pretty fast, at least my strategy is to get in and get out quick, so that you're not sitting on something a long time and all of a sudden you get one of these ricochets that go in the wrong direction. For those who took the trade last night that I recommended, I ended up hedging on the hedging on the short side of that trade, because I started to, the signals changed after we got off, or after I sent it out. So I doubled up, hedged, and basically broke even. You'll see that on when I send out the trades tonight. Going back to the analysis, we'd like to take a look at the news that might impact it. As we are technical traders, we are trading, the indicators are price action based, they follow the movement. News items disrupt that natural movement. So if we know that there's going to be a news item on a specific item, we're going to just stay away from trading that item. People who trade on news are more fundamental traders, and that takes a little bit more skill in terms of being able to understand. Well, we can generally understand if it's going to go up or down, but we don't know how the news is going to relate. So we go to forexfactory.com, and then we scan through the red items. The red folders are likely to have an impact on our trading. So here, and my clock is set to Eastern time, so a little earlier this morning, they had French PMI, which is a production estimate, German PMI, UK, Great Britain PMI. There are G7 meetings going on, so all of this stuff has already happened. And the US has got their PMI coming out at 9:45, which is 3 hours from now. So if we have a quick 5 pip trade, thick orange line trade, we could probably take it and get away before that news comes out. If it's a 10-point trade, I'm not quite as sure if we can get out before this news hits. So we'll have that in consideration as we look at things. Today, what I think I'll do is we'll first take a look at the 10-point trade, see if we have any opportunities there, and then we will swing back to the thick orange line trade right at the top of the hour. So let's see what we have. I have 3 sets of these composite charts. Composite chart is has a group of different pairs on it. This first one has primarily U.S. pairs, and they're all in the 60-minute chart. And again, what that means is that each candle has 60 minutes worth of information in it. As a new trader, I like to trade primarily, or have you trade primarily off of a 60-minute chart, because it'll allow you to see some immediate results from the indicator. The indicators work on all level charts. It's just that the run is going to be longer. The prospect is going to be longer, because you'll see that when it's oversold, it's going to run through the channel to get overbought. Now, what will happen is if I see a signal, then what I'm going to do is go to the more detailed chart to get a better read as to what's going on before I decide to take the trade. I would not take a 10-point trade off of just the 60-minute chart. Reason being is once we see the trade signal, we need to figure out how much it's worth. And we can't figure out how much it's worth without going to a more detailed chart. So how we're going to start is we take a look to see whether something's overbought or oversold on the majors and minors. Euro dollar, we're overbought, but everybody's still pointing up. I want them to be pointing down and double crossed. We don't have that. euro, or excuse me, pound dollar. Majors are going up, minors are starting to come down. So no. Australian US dollar. Uh, the majors are over overbought. They're starting to come down, but the minors are still going up. So we don't have it. I want them all above and all pointing down. Dollar Swiss franc. We are oversold, and we're just about, the minors are pointing up and double crossed, but the majors aren't there yet. Dollar yen, we are in the channel going down, and we're more than halfway. If we were less than halfway, I would maybe take a look at it, but as we're more than halfway, it's going to be worth limited pips to me. And then USD Canadian, oversold, but not pointing up. The majors are starting to turn, but they haven't, and the minors are clearly still going down. So let's look at the next group. Euro pound, oversold, pointing down. Australian dollar yen, overbought. Minors are pointing down and have already gone more than halfway in the channel, but the majors are still hanging, still up here, and they're not quite pointing down yet. They've kind of double crossed. Red is on top, but it's really a sideways move, so not good enough. And what I'm doing is, once I have the full signal here, then I'll go on up to the TNTs and count how many of the lines are moving in the right direction, and then down to the pressure, and see if I have a point or two coming from the pressure. Euro Canadian, everybody's pointing up, overbought and pointing up. Australian New Zealand dollar, oversold, pointing up, double cross. So I've got all 3 points here. Oversold, they're below the red line. Now the minors have kind of gone up into the channel. The majors are just entering the channel, so that's okay for me. I care more about where the position of the majors are than I do the minors. So everybody's pointing up, and green crossed over red and gray crossed over. So I have 3 points here. Now I'm going to go up to my TNTs, and I'm going to count how many lines are going in the right direction that are consistent with what I'm seeing in the majors and minors doing. So in this case, when orange lines are going up, the 2 orange lines are going up, thick orange is going up, thin orange is going up. That's 2. Dotted blue is coming down. When blue comes down, blue is inversely related. So that's a third. The thick blue is going up, so we don't get a point for that. So we've got 3 out of 4 here. We want 3 out of 4. We want 3 out of 4 from the TNTs. So now I've got 6 points. I need a minimum of 7, so I need 1 point from the pressure. Down pressure, it's actually starting to go sideways with red on top. If the lines were going up, if that red line was going up, I would take a point, or if green was on top, I would take a point. Green will soon be on top because it's starting to go up, but it hasn't crossed the red yet. So I don't have a point here. I want to have a point. I need to have a point from every section. I need to have 3, minimum from 3 here. I need all 3 here, and I need at least 1 here. Right now I don't have it. So I am going to pass. Moving forward, New Zealand dollar, US dollar, overbought. Everybody's pointing down. and I have a double cross, black on top of gray and red on top of green. So this is good. 3 points here. The two oranges are going down. So there's 2 points there. Dotted blue is going sideways, so I don't get anything for that. Thick blue is going up. Up on the blue means down, so I get 3 out of the 4 here. I've got up pressure with red on top. Red on top gives me a point. So let's take a look and see, let's take a look at the full detail on this chart and see what we've got. New Zealand USD. Open the chart book. NZD USD. And it has been a while since I traded this, so I just want to make sure. I've got the D in here, which stands for daylight savings time, but I just want to make sure that the clock is right, and the clock is right. First thing I want to do is I want to kind of get an idea where my support and resistance are. So I am going to crunch up the chart and start drawing some support and resistance. And we really don't go over, you know, how to do this, but basically I'm looking for places where the line seems to stop. It goes down to a certain point, stops, and then turns around. So it did it right in here, and it seemed to do it right in here. And on a 60-minute chart, which this is, these lines tend to be around 30, 40 pips apart. So let's see. So we're getting some bumping here. Getting some bumping here and here. And let's see, we'll do one more. Maybe there. Let's take one more underneath here. All right, for the last, so I want to know where these spots are because the market tends to respect these lines, and I don't want to trade through those lines because we'll get hung up. I also want to know the trend. How has the market been trading? So since the weekend, we're trading into an up market the last day and a half. I'm going to take this off so that we can see it a little bit better, but we're trading into an up market. Then I want to know where, how much room I have between the current price and the resistance lines. So here I've got about the 36 pips till I hit the resistance line above. And I've got about, I don't know, 3 to 5 pips till I hit the support line below. So that gives me an idea of how much room I've got to trade in. If I'm going to come down and hit this line, I can't take more than 5 pips because I'm gonna bump into this and it's going to stop. So that's going to impact my decision. Now, I'm just going to, and let's get these so we can see them a little better. All right, so the 5 minute, we've got, we're oversold. We've got everybody's pointing up into the channel. Pressure is down, but green just crossed over, so that suggests an up movement. And 30 minute, I'm going down. Red is on top, sideways. So we've got a down signal, down, red on top. But my issue is right now, to take a down trade here, I'm sitting right on this resistance line. It's only worth 5 pips. It's not, I don't want to take it. There's not enough meat on the bone, so to speak. Taking a trade for 5 pips isn't worth it for me. So we've got it down on the 2 hour. We've got it down with red on top. If we were on the other side of this line and I had this signal, I would take this trade. Being on this side of the line, I don't want to take the trade. So let's see if we can find something else. Overbought on Euro Australian dollar, but pointing up. Australian Canadian dollar. We are in the middle of the channel, kind of slightly going down. Miners have already run through the channel. Down, down. The 2 orange lines going down. Thick blue going up. So I got 3 out of 4 here. I've got red on top. So I've got 7 points. The only thing I don't like about this is this isn't like a traditional where it comes up and it's turning around. It's kind of been lingering up here. And in that lingering, we see, let's see, how much has it moved? You know, well, I guess it's moved 25 pips in that lingering while it's been over here. Let's take a look at the full chart and see what it says. Australian Canadian. I don't remember ever trading the Australian Canadian, but let's see. I got a chart for them now, so let's take a look. So first I want to take a look at my support and resistance. We're going to crunch him up a little bit. Crunch it up a little bit. All right, so we are trading into a uptrend. The last 2 days, day and a half, and we could even argue that for the last 4 days we've been trading into an uptrend. Knowing what the trend is going to dictate how many pips I'm going to go for. So if I'm trading with the trend, I'll go for more pips. If I'm trading against the trend, I'm going to go for less pips. And we're sitting right on that spot. Let's see. Down. It's the 5 minute is up, 15 is up, the 30 is up, the 120 we've got up pressure even though we're overbought. I don't like it enough, so let's pass. Let's go see if we've got a thick orange line trade real quick. I don't like it enough because this isn't steep enough. And because this is hanging up here, what's likely going to happen is the miners are going to come up, so that's going to put up pressure. So we're going to see a little up movement on here. But we are on this side of the line, so we do have the ability. We've got a nice clear channel going down. So we've got 30 pips. Let's see. Well, from the bottom, we've got 30 pips till we hit this line. So this trade could be worth 15, but the slope isn't quite strong enough there for me. In terms of thick orange line, let's see, I can't, this thing is covering my thick orange line. -8. I'm oversold. So on the thick orange line trade, I'm looking what this number is. I want it to be 0 or -100 or within 10 points of either. I have it at -8, and I've got all of these overbought. So I'm going to go ahead and take a 5 pip sell. And we have got 1 minute left. So to take a 5 pip sell, first I need to take a look at figure out my lot size. I'm going to move the decimal point over 4 spots. So 0.8 on this demo account, 0.8, and I'm going to do sell, and I'm going to take 5 pips, so it records the transaction down here. Modify order. Why isn't it popping up? Oh, it's popping up over here. I am going to take 5 pips equals 50 points. If I click this, it will do the calculation for me. For right now, we're going to use 4 times whatever our take profit is. So if I've got a take profit of 50 points, I want 200 points for a stop loss. And then, because I want to get the full 5, I'm just going to check the addition here. So if I am at 108.82, I'm going to go to 108.70. 82, I'm going to go to 77. So I'm going to change this to 77. Okay. And it looks like we're going to get that. The other thing we can also do is some traders like to wait till the top of the hour to see how this number changes. The top of the hour, it was -6. They want to see it move by more than 10. And it did. It moved by 25. So that usually will mean that we're going to get our jump. And So we will wait for this to close. Any questions? So today all we did is we found one thick orange line trade. Any questions, comments? Hey, Leighton, I will try to give you a call. This morning I'm tied up, but I will try to give you a call in the afternoon. All right, gang. Thanks. See you next week. And I am going to go ahead and still take this trade in my live account too. All right, very good. Bye-bye.